When I say, who's the master? You say, no.
What's up, guys? Shonoff the King here, and it's Wednesday morning, so you know what that means. It's time for my Manga Weekly Review. And this week we will be reviewing Naruto Chapter 636 as well as Bleach Chapter 543. This is going to be a fairly quick review this week, only because there wasn't a lot of meat to both chapters this week, which is fine. Like I said, overall it was a decent week. Wasn't as exciting as last week, but you'll learn why shortly. So let's start off. Like I said, last week I started off with Naruto. So this week I'll start off with Bleach. No, whatever. So I'm actually going to start off with the review for Bleach 543. This title was called Letters, and basically an overview of what I said last week. If you go back to my other video, you can look for that one in the annotation above. I said that when at the end of last week's chapter that Yuobak was talking to his Sternritters and he had an announcement for them, and I said last week that it was going to be Uryu, but I didn't know exactly what his announcement was going to be, and when we found out, it didn't really surprise me. Nothing that was said this chapter surprised me at all. So Uryu was introduced as Yuobak's successor. He is the last Quincy. So it's kind of confirmed something for us that the Sternritters are just that. They're Sternritters. They are not Quincy. I think they have Quincy abilities, but they are not Quincy. And I believe because Uryu is the last pure-blood Quincy, that he does have this special abilities that's been unlocked, that needs to be unlocked. Now, towards the end of that particular chapter, that's what's actually happening. He's sitting down for tea with Yuobak, and he's talking to him, and Yuobak says, we can finally, the plan has been set. We can finally unlock your hidden abilities. And, Uryu is basically thanking him. And he says he's going to give him a title of A, just like himself. So it's clear that, again, like I said, the plot device that's being used right now is that Uryu this is his power-up chapter. This is how he gets his new abilities so that he can compete with Ichigo and the rest and still have a fighting chance against Yuobak. Because let's be honest, Uryu is not going to be the new leader of the Sternritters. He's not. It's just not going to happen. Uryu is basically using Yuobak to get a power-up. Yuobak killed his mom. And Uryu knows that. Or at least he knows now. So there's no way that Uryu is going to stay on Yuobak's side. Now, how long he decides to stay on his side, which we'll find out. But I think it's kind of like a covert mission to try and figure out exactly what their abilities are, how to cancel out that Bankai still, because again, that's going to still be the biggest issue that the Shinigami have, is how to get rid of that medallion that steals the Bankais, or if they can even get their old Bankais back, namely Hitsugaya, because it looks like Konohamaru, the dog face, is going to probably get a new Bankai, as well as some of the others. Renji's already got his new Bankai. It looks like Byakuya and Kuchiki is going to also get a new Bankai. So we're going to kind of see exactly what's going on. On the other end of that chapter, we got introduced to a couple of other Sternritters. And again, like I said, I honestly don't remember all their names, but right now I'm pretty sure that it's all irrelevant. They introduced us to a couple new Sternritters. There's a black guy who had a staff with an eyeball on it. There was another guy, and I guess it was just weird. And I guess that's the problem I had with this chapter, because again, I guess they're telling us the Shinigami side on the other end, and now they're trying to introduce us to the new players of the Star Knights, the Sternritters, because we did lose some in that battle with Yamamoto, and it looks like Butterby, I think his name was, or B, he was upset that Yuobak assigned someone that no one knew to be his successor. So he's upset, and he's getting ready to go talk to Yuobak, which of course in my head as I'm reading this thing is, dude, you're going to get killed. I mean, he killed one of his people in command for bleeding on his floor. So I'm just like, you questioning him is going to get you killed. But obviously this dude didn't care. And again, if I'm not mistaken, this is what I need your guys' help with. The guy that we're talking about with the Mohawk buzz cut, I could have sworn he was one of the ones that was cut down by Yamamoto. So now, I just need you guys to let me know, is that the same guy that Yamamoto killed along with Asnot? Or did he survive that battle? Or was it not him at all? So if you guys do know that answer, just let me know. But in general, like I said, this chapter, I'm going to give this chapter just an okay. I enjoyed seeing Uryu. I enjoyed seeing the fact that we know he's going to get a power-up. But like I said, overall, just learning about the new Stern Ritters was kind of cool. But overall, I thought this was a kind of bland chapter. I didn't think it was a bad chapter. I just thought it was okay. There wasn't much else to really talk about. No one else was really in the storyline. It was literally about Uryu, then about them introducing the new Stern Ritters, and then finding out why Yubok's current second in command was not chosen. So I'm pretty sure he has he's going to have some beef with Uryu. It's gonna be developed later on, but I knew we had to get to this part. I'm not holding it against it, but this chapter will be ranked just an okay. Now let's move on to Naruto. Naruto 636. This chapter was actually a little bit better. Still wasn't better to me than last week because, again, at this point, I don't care about the Obito Kakashi battle anymore. I really don't. I think the whole battle is pointless. I thought the reveal of Obito was stupid, and I'm still not convinced about his motives in regards to this entire thing. We all know at this point that Madara is going to be the focal point as the final bad guy in this chapter, and he kind of shows his true colors this week. Essentially, the battle between Kakashi and Obito does end up coming to an end, which is great because I didn't want them to drag this out for 2 to 3 chapters. We get the same kind of Obito flair because he doesn't have enough development in the current timeline. We only have to go by the old Obito, so we get, of course, a flashback during their fight, and we also figure out before that fight, the true fight starts, that the last panel we got from last week's chapter, of course, which everyone guessed, was them fighting in a genjutsu battle. And the shot before, when Kakashi stabbed Obito through the heart and he said, "I have no heart," that also was a genjutsu battle that him and Kakashi were having. Now, I guess what Kishimoto was trying to do is, I guess he was trying to trick us, but I don't think it was a trick that no one actually fell for. And the reason why I say that is probably because that no one's ever seen Kakashi use genjutsu, or at least as far as I'm concerned, I've never seen Kakashi use this technique. But he is known as the copy ninja, master of 1,000 jutsu. So it only seems correct to assume that he can use genjutsu. So the fact that they've used it together in this battle is not surprising. Now, what ends up happening is after they stab each other, Kakashi basically says, "Let's stop playing these games and end this fight for real." So then they both snap out of the genjutsu battle that they had, kind of reminiscent of the battle between Itachi and Sasuke when they had their first battle, when they had their final battle together. They both fought at first in using genjutsu, and then after that they resorted to actual physical combat. And that's exactly what happens here, but during the actual flashback, like I mentioned earlier, it looks like they're having the Kanami battle, between friends and to see who's stronger, and it looks like they're basically going through the exact same battle patterns as they were before. But in this battle, it ends up like when Kakashi wins, instead of reaching for his hand and trying to cup it to show that they're still comrades, Kakashi stabs Obito through the chest again with a lightning kunai. And this time it actually hits him, and this time it actually opens him up, and he actually starts to bleed. So it looks like Kakashi did land a fatal blow, but Kakashi was also wounded by one of Obito's, I think it was one of those chakra rods that he used, and he stabbed him through the chest with it. So Obito, that whole battle kind of ended right then and there, and Obito basically said, "You may have won the battle, but you will lose the war." And then he proceeds to use his Kanami to teleport out of that space, leaving Kakashi there wounded. Now, when he gets to the other battlefield, we return to Madara, who ended up it looks like he did decide to start fighting the wood clone of the first, and it looks like he easily dispatched of the wood clone, and citing something along the lines of, you know, you're pouring too much chakra into that barrier, and you can't even provide me any entertainment with your wood clone. And he's basically like getting tired. Then he realizes that Obito has come back from his own dimension and is sitting there. So then at that point, basically Madara reveals his true colors, that he didn't need Obito anymore, and that he wanted to wait, but he wanted to fight Hashirama before becoming the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. But I guess now he needs something from Obito in order for it to work. Oh yes, he needs him to do the Rini Tensei jutsu to bring him back to life, because I guess you can't be a reanimated combatant and still be able to... Excuse me, my phone was going off. You can't be a reanimated corpse and also be a Jinchuriki because you're dead. So he's going to essentially use Obito to use the technique to bring him back to life, which will essentially kill Obito. So he begins that process, and looks like the right-hand side of Obito that got crushed is starting to burn. It looks like it's causing him great pain. And I'm assuming, again, that's just me assuming, that he's taking back the Zetsu side along with the Rinnegan that he's going to use to force him to do it. I'm not sure, but it looks like the chapter itself ends with Obito writhing in pain, and it's evident that everyone else on the battlefield, at least some of the people, are noticing what's going on, namely Naruto and Naruto's dad. So this, again, like I said, this chapter I'm going to actually rate a good. If you guys don't know, I'm gonna I'll give you the scale. It's bad, okay, good, great, and epic. So that's kind of how my rating scale works. It's on a 5 rating scale. And again, like I said, I'm gonna give this chapter a good. It's not great, but it's good. And like I said, I enjoyed the end mostly. I enjoyed the fact that they got rid of Obito and they're done with this whole Kakashi story as far as bringing that dimension. I didn't want to see any more flashbacks to Obito. I'm done with Obito. I'm sorry. He's a character that I don't care about, and because of the fact that he's been dealing and intertwining with Kakashi, it's making me not care about Kakashi. Because when I saw Kakashi get stabbed last week, I didn't care. I was like, oh, they're going to kill Kakashi. Okay. But, and again, Kakashi's a character that I love, so the fact that this didn't bother me just goes to show that they're taking this storyline too far. They need to wrap it up. Now, what I'm going to do is, before I end the video, is give you my prediction. I definitely see Obito turning on Madara, clearly because Madara's trying to kill him. He's going to probably bring Kakashi back from the other dimension, and they're going to probably have some heartfelt talk, and he's going to say, protect Ren, or protect Naruto, or they're going to have some sort of talk no jutsu moment. And honestly, I think, and this might be a stretch, but I think that Obito is going to give his other eye to Kakashi, or meld it into his other Sharingan to make it a full Sharingan, so that Kakashi can actually use the space-time ninjutsu fully, without it actually having to drain him as much. He can probably teleport back and forth and do everything that Obito was able to do with his only one Sharingan. So I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to, because Kishimoto likes to go back to the past a lot, and also likes to compare Naruto to everybody. I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to go back to the past, and then Obito in his last dying breath is going to give Kakashi his other eye, so that he can get his power up, and then maybe he can join in the battle to try to stop Madara. Because it looks like the Ten Tails is not going to be the last. I believe that Madara's going to suck up the Ten Tails, become the Ten Tails from Jinchuriki, and then he's going to alone start fighting all the old Kages again in the round 2, plus Naruto, plus the other sages. It's going to be a huge battle against Madara, him being the Jinchuriki. So I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what your thoughts are on this chapter below, and comment in the section below. Thumbs up the video as normal, and definitely subscribe to my channel. I'm about 15 subs away before hitting that match number 500. And when I do hit 500, I'm going to do a special video, because that's going to definitely be a milestone for myself. This is Showing Off the King, the one and only, and you guys have a fantastic day.